It's amazing. Amazing that we created these inventions. It's amazing that we created these inventions, that we're able to travel, that we're able to go far, that we're able to traverse this great world, you know? But the people that made inventions like that, the people that made inventions like this, the people that made inventions like this, right? They're just people. You realize that though? They're just people. Like you are a person, I am a person. We're people. But we often think that these people that were able to create something, we often think that we don't have the same capacity, that we don't have the same capability, almost like we're not human beings. Like that came from somebody's mind, the idea, right? Of course, somebody took the time. Of course, somebody might have seen the signs, but it came from somebody's mind. It was an idea, right, that floated to someone, and they just acted on that idea. People are people. What do we mean by this? You know, I remember when I was in Pasadena, California, and I was looking up different martial arts. I was like, what's the next martial art I'm going to take? I want to do a martial art. I want to get into self-defense. I've already done boxing. I've already done karate. Right? I want to do something different. I want to do something unique. So I was looking up stuff. I said, okay, Aikido, the way of peace. That looks interesting. Okay. What about this one? What about that one? And then I finally landed on a martial art that really felt up my alley, that really felt like my style. The art of invisibility. The martial art also known as Bujinkan. If you've ever heard of Bujinkan, also known as Ninjitsu, the way of the ninja way. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, let me find this ninjitsu dojo. I've heard that there's one in Pasadena. So I look up Bujinkan. I do my research. I type on the computer. I finally find a dojo. And then it tells me, okay, these are the coordinates. This is where it is. I look it up on my GPS. Oh, that's not that far. Okay, that's just down the road a piece. I drive over there to the building that they say that they're at. And guess what? They're not there. It wasn't the wrong building. It was just the wrong address on the website. It wasn't the right place. So I'm scratching my head. I'm like, wait a minute. This is where it said to go. Where's the dojo? So the dojo's not there. I said, okay. So I emailed the guy for the Bujinkan Ninjitsu dojo. And I'm like, what's going on? Where's the location? He's like, oh yeah, we have an application process. You know, we don't just take everybody. We don't just take everybody off the street. You know, it's only a select few of people. So you have to go through a process. So I actually had to go through a whole questionnaire. He's asking me all these questions. You know, questions about, you know, who I am, my philosophy, what I believe, you know, the martial arts disciplines I've already received, you know, how does my mind work, the way that I perceive, right? He's asking me all these questions that seem like random. So I turn them in, I turn in the questions. Then a week later, he says, all right, this is great. And I say, okay, can I come to the dojo? He's like, just real quick, answer these questions. He sends me another sheet of questions. Emails me a whole bunch more, a whole nother questionnaire with different questions, more deep probing questions, more thought-provoking questions. I'm like, who is this guy? Now I'm really intrigued. Now I'm really wondering. Now I'm looking at my cousin. I'm like, yo, do you see this? He's like, yo, man, that's a scam. That's a scam, man. Stop that. They messing with you, bro. They're messing with you. Don't do that stuff. I said, no, I'm intrigued. I'm hooked. He's got me. Now I got to get in. So I answered this whole questionnaire once again. I turn it in and he says, okay, You're in. You're into the dojo. Well, this is the actual address. The other address is just for, people who aren't really interested, people who are mildly interested. This is the actual one. So I go to the actual address, and it's just an open field. Like, it's just a plot of land. It's just some grass that is behind this swimming pool, aquarium style place in Pasadena. If anybody knows about the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, that's where the actual address of the dojo was. And so I wait for the evening. It's around 7 or 8 o'clock. And I'm just waiting there. I'm sitting in meditation pose. I'm just waiting. I'm looking. Nobody's there. I'm like, is this a joke? Am I being pranked? Are they just playing a joke on me? And then slowly, very stealthily, very silently, I see a dark shape. A shape in the darkness. And a man walks out the darkness, almost like he had already been there before I was there. Like he had been waiting in the bushes, just meditating in the bushes, watching just to see what I would do. And he comes out, he walks, and he introduces himself to me. And he's the sensei, he's the head of the dojo. And I say, oh wow, nice to meet you, finally, And I ask him, later on, like, what was the deal with all the questions? He said, yeah, man, the questions really don't matter. They're just weeding out the people who aren't serious. I said, oh, okay. He's like, I'm not looking for people who are just mildly curious or just aren't really serious. I'm looking for really committed people, because what we're doing, it takes commitment, it takes discipline. And so you showed that, so that's why you're here. So I said, okay, cool, Then all the other people from the dojo start coming on, these black shapes and figures. Since it's ninjitsu, since it's the art of invisibility, no one is wearing white. Everyone is wearing black. And they come out the shadows in all shapes and sizes. Some short, some tall, some big, some stout, some muscular, some thin, some frail. Everybody's coming in all of their black garb in the middle of the night into this open field. And I'm like, what's going on with the dojo? Is this is the dojo? Out here in the grass, this is the dojo? He's like, yeah, in real life, if you're gonna be in a fight, in an actual, self-defense encounter, you're not gonna always have the comfortable setting of four walls in a brightly lit room of four walls in a dojo and a mat on the floor. It's gonna be on the street, it's gonna be out here. So we train out here, rain, sleet, snow, whatever conditions, we train out here, in the wild, in the wilderness. So I was like, okay, I respect that. You train in nature, I respect that. So we do our exercises, we do the rolls, we do the katas, we do stuff, he trains us. And then we get to the point where we're going toe to toe with another opponent. He puts us in front of each other. And this was when I understood that there were levels of human anatomy that I just wasn't taught. This was not knowledge that I learned in college. He put me with a partner. I forgot the guy's name. Short guy, smiling, glasses, and he's much shorter than me. I'm 6'3". This guy puts my arm in a lock, and he puts my arm in such a way where the hinge on my arm was in such a way that all he had to do was place his pinky down on the corner of my arm, and I was like, ah! Like I was yelling out like, ah! Like it hurt so bad. The pain was so excruciating. When he just placed a little pinky on the edge of my arm, I was like, what is this? What kind of wizardry is this? What kind of geometry is this that you're playing with my body like this? And he's just, just grinning, just smiling. And this short guy is throwing me over here, throwing me over there. And if I didn't practice my rolls, if I didn't practice on the ground, I would have hit in a bad way. I could have snapped my neck the way he's just throwing me. It didn't surprise me that he was able to throw me like that. What surprised me the most is that he could have been anybody. Like you could have walked into a mall and just seen this guy, regular guy, but never know that he was training in the dark, in the shadows with all these other people. These people, they were They were just people. Like they knew a whole bunch of stuff about the body. They knew about self-defense. They knew about things that I never learned in my life, but they were still people. We were more alike than we were different. And that showed me something. I asked Elitom, when he was spending time around millionaires and billionaires, people's houses and their yachts. And I asked him, what is the difference between us and these millionaires, these people who make all this money? He said, man, let me tell you something. He said, you know what I learned about these millionaires? I said, what did you learn? He said, they're just people. I said, what? He said, yeah, man. They're just like us. They're just people. They got vices. They got problems. They got worries. They got stresses. They got addictions. They got things. They're just like us. Like they might know a little something different. They might have their uniqueness in that area. They might have dedicated themselves to something in life, but they're still like us. They're just people. All these celebrities that we put on pedestals and we say, I wish I could be like him or her, or why can't I? It's just amazing how they were able to, they're just like you. They have a mind just like you, right? They have resources, they have faculties just like you. They're just people. And that's what struck me. Every time somebody comes around me and they would be like, wow, you don't eat? You really don't eat? I'm like, yeah, I don't eat. I don't know. They're like, they see me in the mall. They're like, you just seem unattached. You just seem very detached. Like none of this stuff touches you. You can really just walk by all this stuff and not buy anything. Yeah. They're like, you just feel like superhuman. You're just something out of this world. I'm like, no, I'm just me. I'm just like you. I'm just people. And that's what I learned when I was around pranic people. People who don't eat, people who don't drink. They're just people, right? It might seem that they're doing something fantastical, something phenomenal, something out of this world, but is not out of your reach. It is not outside of your grasp. And to really just know, you can just simply ask, and you'll find out they're just like you. So thank you, my friend. Thank you for listening. Blessings to you. Much love. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, to really have that humbling, grateful spirit and to understand we are more alike than we are different, right? Let's normalize certain things and realize that we're not that far between,